Hey guys, I'm Chris Norwood and I'm on a journey to hear every song ever recorded. And today's video is going to be a lot of fun. I'm talking about something positive that has come from something negative. And we all know how the world is these days in 2020, and the music industry was really hit hard, but something positive has come out of this disaster. And that is a lot of bands that had albums delayed and albums postponed indefinitely, and recording was halted on some stuff. A lot of these musicians that were stuck at home started working on solo material. So we're going to check out 5 or 6 artists that are kind of working on new things in a different way. So here we go. Let's just start off with one that's a little bit of a, not necessarily a solo project, but the band The Killers is the first one I want to talk about. And they've essentially, so The Killers were a 1, 2, 3, 4 piece, and then their lead guitar player, Dave K, went on indefinite hiatus in 2017. I'm not sure. Usually when somebody leaves a band, they're just gone, but he's on hiatus. And Mark S on bass and other instruments has actually only doing studio work, which is interesting. That's actually how I prefer to do music. I'm a studio only guy. Don't like to perform live. But so this is kind of an interesting thing. And when all this bad things started happening in 2020, the Killers essentially became Brandon Flowers and Ronnie V. Jr. on drums, and they've made it work, and it's been kind of a little bit of a different era for the band, and it's been a really great one in my opinion. Imploding the Mirage is their best album by a long shot. So I'm not sure, and that's fine that the bass player, it looks like he's kind of doing a lot in the studio and then he's not doing anything live, and that's fine, that's great, and I feel like it's working for the band. So if he's happy and they're happy and their fans are enjoying the music, hey, we can deal with just a lead singer and a drummer, right? So that's been a Reconfigured band that is making it work. I'll just show you that album really quick. Really loving Imploding the Mirage. Really, really good record. A surprise that came out just a few days ago was a solo album by Against Me frontwoman Laura Jane Grace. This Alive. And she is one of my favorite musicians ever. One of my favorite vocalists. I've seen Against Me live in 2014. One of the best shows of my life. It was energetic. Now, I have yet to listen to this record, and I've got to say I'm not a fan of her sort of solo record she did with the Devouring Mothers. I don't know why. She's one of my favorite vocalists, favorite guitarists, and just wasn't digging that Devouring Mothers album, but I am looking forward to this one. It does seem to be a little bit different than the Devouring Mothers, and it's definitely different than Against Me, but it wouldn't have came out if it wasn't for the whole situation of 2020. And I gotta say, I am really looking forward to the next Against Me album, which would be the follow-up to Shapeshift with Me, which was killer. Almost the entire discography of Against Me is just some of the best punk rock out there. The next kind of new project I want to talk about is from the band Shinedown, and the lead singer and the guitar player are doing a little thing called Smith and Myers. Shinedown have always done some of the best covers imaginable, and some of them being as good as the originals, if not better. And they're doing actually 2 They had one record coming out. Now they have two as Smith and Myers. And this is, again, kind of came out of the bad situation where people couldn't get together. And Shinedown are one of my favorite rock groups ever. They're in my top 20 for sure. And I am super excited to hear this. Again, the virus and the situation, it has made a lot of people are making angrier music, but other people are making more acoustic, calmer songs. It's just how different people react differently. And, maybe a lot of this acoustic stuff, it could get old pretty quick. I know the at-home music videos drove me insane. I'm glad that stuff's finally over. The home acoustic performances were nice. But maybe, eventually we'll start getting back into the normalcy of music. But I gotta say, I'm very excited about this sort of acoustic, simplified Shinedown. And hopefully the other guys will rejoin them at some point, and everything will be great again. Next up, I want to talk about another one of my all-time favorite bands. I think they're sitting currently at number 26 in my all-time favorites, and that is Slipknot. And I gotta say, I just filmed my review of Corey Taylor's new solo record, and as I was doing the review, I just fell more and more in love with that album as it played and played. And if you don't know, you probably do, but CMFT is the name of the record, and it's great. Here's the album cover. Pretty nice looking album cover. Not the greatest, not the worst. So, we've covered a lot of solo material, side projects here, and there's one more that I want to talk about, and this is my absolute favorite. If you guys have been around for any length of time, and maybe now, starting to get a little bit of notoriety around here, me and Buddy are starting to get the very small levels of tension that we deserve. I'm the biggest Green Day nerd ever, and Green Day were they were right in the middle of promoting their February 2020 album Father of All when all this happened, and that was it. That was the end of it. And I hate this because Green Day, I feel like they've had a lot of bad luck in the last decade where they've just had to stop promoting albums. With the trilogy, Uno, Dos, and Tres, that was set to be one of the biggest things in their career. There was 37 songs around the world with Green Day. There's going to be a quadrillion, there's going to be at least 12 singles from that. And then Billy Joe had his problems, and they halted any promotion at all. It was very sad. It was very traumatic for me. And they followed the trilogy up with Revolution Radio, and it was good. It was good, and there wasn't really any major issues that happened with Green Day for Revolution Radio, but it did seem to kind of just end abruptly. They were talking about doing Forever Now and Somewhere Now as singles, and then nothing. There's 3 singles, and they were done, and that was it. And I was very sad. I'm still kind of waiting. I'm still waiting for some more trilogy singles and some more Revolution Radio singles, and they just kind of left me hanging with those. Trilogy was understandable. Not sure what happened with Revolution Radio. It seemed to be doing really well, and then they just, bloop, no more singles. It's over. Bye. That was a little bit disheartening. And then we got the 2017 Greatest Hits. And then in 2000, they started doing a lot of stuff in 18 and 19, started to kind of reactivate as a band. And then Father of All came out, and everybody's kind of had these weird reactions to it, and that album cover. I loved it. We got a handful of music videos, which was great. But then coronavirus came out like an album or something, and that was the end. That was the end of the Hecka Mecca tour, and Green Day kind of had to, kick back. Well, get this. Billy Joe Armstrong, as always, can't just kick back and relax. So he made a promise to the world that he would release a new song every Monday until it was all said and done. Now, he's had some things come up, and there's been some holidays, and there's been some other world events that kind of prevented him from doing every Monday. And I think now that the lockdown officially is kind of, it's sort of over and away, but we're kind of still in limbo. He's not really doing them anymore, but he started releasing these No Fun Monday songs as singles to all the streaming sites. So that's been interesting. But man, he's just been on a roll with these things. And let's just jump into what he's been doing. So, if you're a big Green Day nerd like I am, you know that Billy Joe Armstrong released his first single when he was a little kid in 1977 called Look for Love. But then after that, he'd pretty much been in Green Day and hadn't really done any solo material aside from some performances here and there. But in 2020, we got his cover of I Think We're Alone Now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around, which was fun and amazing. It's like, whoa! And again, this is one that I don't think would have happened had situations been different, because Green Day have always kind of held firm that they are, all three of them are Green Day, and nobody's leaving that band unless it's in a coffin. And even then, they might not leave that band. So, since Trey Cool replaced their original drummer, Al Soprante, it's been the three of them. 30 years, it's been the three of them. So, I Think We're Alone Now was a lot of fun. And That Thing You Do was a really fun cover as well, as written by the late Adam Schlesinger. And we're going to miss him for sure. And then we got You Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory, which is a lot of fun. Manic Monday is one of my favorites. Corpus Christi was an Avengers cover, and that was amazing. That Thing You Do was officially released. War Stories was a really great one. Some of these are really deep cuts that not a lot of people recognize, which is great. Amico, which is really interesting. Kids in America, not one of my favorite songs, but Billy Joe did it justice here, because he always kills covers. Not That Way Anymore is a really good one. That's Rock and Roll by Eric Carmen and Sean Cassidy made it popular. Give Me Some Truth was a good cover as a protest song by John Lennon, of course. A New England was sort of an unfamiliar one, written by Billy Bragg. The classic Clash tune, Police on My Back, I'm running. Police on my back, they can't find me. Police on my back, you run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. What have I done? What have I done? Kind of in response to the crazy world we live in. And then this last one was really, really fun. The Whole Wide World. Song written by Reckless Eric. And a lot of fun. Now, so that was, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 weeks of Billy Joe Armstrong just releasing song after song. We didn't get any original material, but I think he is saving all that for Green Day 14, Green Day 14, Green Day 14, which could be coming sooner than we expect. Hopefully, probably not in 2020, but I'm thinking 2021. maybe middle, probably September, October is a good bet for a Green Day album. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm Chris Norwood. Like I said, I'm on a journey to hear every song ever recorded. But Green Day are just the best. So this has just been a positive little thing that's been going on despite the world going mad and going crazy. Going to be getting a lot of solo albums. And again, we're not sure exactly what's going to happen with all these Billy Joe Armstrong singles. He has just now, 14 weeks later, he's just now started to kind of release them on iTunes and Spotify and things like that instead of just YouTube. So they are official singles by Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day. And that's sort of been a little bit of a thing where, Billy Joe Armstrong is Green Day, but he doesn't really want to call these songs Green Day because Mike and Trey aren't in them. So it's kind of Billy from Green Day. And then Green Day did release a single during this time of the world with a cover of Blondie's "Dreaming." So that was really good too. Sometimes bad does some good. Okay, in the words of Chris Cornell, sometimes bad can do some good. I'm gonna go cry now. Bye.